But there's a difference between competition and enmity. I mean, to me, competition means trying to outdo the other guy. You invest in yourself, you win by being better, and not everything is zero sum. When you're actively trying to obstruct each other, which is what the United States and China have been doing for the better part of 2 years, and Beijing is guilty of that in many ways. What you have is a relationship of enmity, not competition, albeit within some guardrails, which is why I call it managed enmity. I think there are people in China who look at the United States and they may see what they perceive as decline. They see China contracted 6.8% in the first quarter, but they've returned to growth earlier than any other major economy. And they have other things going for them as well. They have the map in Asia, where they're geographically contiguous to other subregions of Asia, something that is an advantage they have. They have a model of project finance around things like infrastructure that the United States has not been able to compete with. China may have at least one, maybe multiple vaccine candidates that they've already indicated they want to leverage potentially for strategic purposes with certain strategically chosen countries around the world. Just look at countries like the Emirates, where they're doing vaccine trials now. I think those countries are very carefully chosen, and they're not just chosen for vaccine-related reasons. So I think if you're sitting in Beijing, you probably look at the United States and you see that you have some competitive advantages. Having said that, competition with China is not rocket science, and I think there are ways that the United States could compete much more effectively than it has been. For one thing, it's withdrawn from its traditional role as a standard setter around trade standards, investment standards, technical standards, and nature abhors a vacuum, and it's ceded that space over the last few years to China, particularly in Asia, in ways that have unsettled American allies and have allowed China to shape the play. That is reversible. And my view is the United States could compete much more effectively. And since you asked me to broaden the lens, that's essentially what American allies and other partners around the region are looking for. They're deeply ambivalent about the rise of Chinese power, but they can't fight the map. They got to live with China every day in perpetuity. China has a certain economic gravity that exerts in the region. But I think countries all around Asia would like to see both a doubling down on the American security presence, but also the United States get back in the economic, technical, rule and standard setting game in a way that isn't just designed to shoot nasty grams off at Beijing, but actually leverages American strengths in much more concerted, strategic and systematic ways. That's the challenge for the Biden administration.